Hey everyone, so today I want to talk about this matchbox shot. So over here on the left we have our camera view, and this is what you see in the final film. But over here on the right we have our main character who is holding the matchbox, and he's probably levitating, half of his body length off the ground. We have the box assassin, and his arm is coming out of the ground like Elastigirl. We have his head that is pulled back way behind his body. So there's a lot of weird things going on this shot. So I'd like to do a quick explanation of how this shot kind of came together and the thinking behind the composition. So if I come down here in this display tab and I turn off the background and the box assassin layer, this is really what I started with. First, I knew I needed to compose the camera kind of from this point of view, like we're looking directly down at the matchbox. So the only way to get around that was if I took the head, and you'll see I actually just translate it right back here. And next I'm making sure that the animation and the character's hands are framed nicely in the shot because they're the main element of my shot. So next I turn on my background layer. So if you'll notice, all of these elements are placed with this main element, the matchbox, and the hands in mind. So I'm placing all of these stepping stones, and then also I added in a charcoal grill and some tongs and some hot dogs to complement it. Again, it's not fighting for attention in the shot, it's just creating this nice ring that frames our main element. And so lastly, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to turn on the box assassin layer. So now if we play that, we'll see the gun come out of the matchbox and shoot at us right at camera. So since this shot is only 16 frames, let's look at what's really going on. If you'll notice here, the silencer comes just a little bit out of the matchbox. That's so that we have something on screen moving a part of the gun we can attach our eye to and follow throughout the rest of the shot. So if you see on the next frame, his hand and the gun are already completely out of the matchbox. It's a very fast movement, and then we're kind of just easing it in towards the camera, and then the muzzle flash. It's weird when you step back and you look at all of these elements separately, but when you break down that I started just the hands and the matchbox, it's not as weird. But then I added in the background layer to complement the main element. Then I added in the box assassin and his gun because I knew the gun was going to come at camera, and that element was going to be pretty self-explanatory. But the most important thing was to compose all the other elements around it so that it worked cohesively. One other thing I want to quickly mention is this big old tree right over here. This actually isn't in the shot, but it is in the shot. It's in the shot because I used this as a light blocker. So basically what that means is I took a Maya light and I put it behind the tree over here. What this solved was I had a lot of grass here that was empty space. So the tree cast shadows onto the grass, which broke it up and gave us some variation in the background and didn't make it too dull. In general, I find that's a really simple, easy way to break up something like grass or concrete and give it some variation and texture. Lastly, all I had to do was take this shot into After Effects and add some muzzle flashes right here at the very end to really give it that final impact. Also, something I wanted to point out is that I animated the little bitty matches in here. It's something a lot of people probably don't notice, but I think it's a nice little touch. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully that gave you some good insight into how this shot was made and maybe some tips for you all going forward in the future. And also I want to say a huge thanks to everyone that subscribed and watched The Box Assassin on YouTube. I so appreciate all the massive support that's been flooding in over the past couple days. I really appreciate it, and stay tuned because I'll be making more breakdowns and more content in the future. So thank you all again so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.